Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in online on Facebook and YouTube. Tonight, we're going to have Cynthia and Juan talking about the gift of transformation. But before we get to there, let's start with the opening prayer. So I invite everybody to close their eyes or not and take a couple of deep breaths, feeling present at this moment. And bring some gratitude inside us for being able to be here online, learning and participating with each other. Let's feel gratitude and thankful for the moment that we live in, that we're able to notice ourselves more and more. Thank you all for being present with us here tonight. And with that, I ask permission to start our presentation of tonight. And with that, I invite Cynthia and Juan to come here. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. All right. So let's start here by sharing something that did inspire us and made us thinking. We would like to open by sharing it with you. It's a text by Khalil Gibran called "The Ocean and the River."
Okay. It is said that before entering the sea, the river trembles with fear. The river looks back at the path it has traveled from the peaks of the mountains, the long winding road crossing forests and villages. And in front of it, the river sees an ocean so vast that to enter there seems nothing more than to disappear forever.
But there is no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence.
The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean, because only then will fear disappear. Because that's where the river will know it is not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean. Powerful words of Khalil Gibran, which I'm a big fan of. Khalil Gibran.
Yes. So let's keep that image of the river in the back of our minds during this time, and let's try to connect even with the feeling of the river. It's something that I can say I've been familiar with that feeling sometimes, and that river is transforming, so I can relate to that fear of transformation and to the unknown and to what really happens. But although that's something we can connect with, today we would like to take 2 steps back and go to a point even before that, when the river is still traversing different places, and it's even changing during those times. But that those changes are more subtle than the change that it's produced when the river joins the ocean, right?
What is that? What is transformation?
So what is
right?
what is really that? And we hear a lot. We have to transform ourselves. We have to evolve. We have to change. Inner transformation. Those are things that we constantly keep on hearing, and we get tips on how to do that. But then I ask myself, okay, transformation. I have to change. So what do I do? Let's go. But
Where is that?
what transformation is that?
Can I go to a store and buy the transformation?
Yeah.
Is there anyone that can show me transformation?
Do I put a suit on, or what do I do? Because I'm still Juan, and yesterday I was Juan, and the day before yesterday I was Juan, and I've been trying to transform myself at least this past week, for sure. And I'm still Juan. So what is that? How how come? What is that transformation that we hear so much about? And that got me thinking. That got us talking about it, and we had a discussion that we would like to share with you today. And the first thing that we noticed, that we saw, is that I can't notice my transformation. So if I look to myself, if I see this Juan right now, and I'm trying to make an effort to transform myself, to evolve, to grow, whatever you want to call it, I can't really see that. And it's like, I thought about the example, like a kid, a toddler that it's growing, so the parents can't really notice that kid growing, and the kid keeps changing every minute, every day, but you can't really notice it. It's the same kid every day, and only people who don't have like a daily contact with him or her, maybe a month goes by or a year goes by, and the uncle or the aunt come and say, "Wow, you've grown so much. You're so different." But you can't really see that about yourself, and you can't really see that about somebody who you live with or you see on a daily basis. Now, while that happens, the thing is that the world, the material world that we live in, is transforming so quickly before our eyes. I don't know if any other time in history this transformation has happened, but I know it's happening now. I've noticed that in 10, 20, 30 years. It's huge, because the information, the flow of information is so big, and there's so many channels of information. So that flow of information, it's transforming the world. But information is not transformation. It's just adding things that create the appearance of transformation to us, at least in a material aspect. If we look materially, if we look to the GDP has tripled, quadrupled in the past 30, 40, 50 years. And a vast amount of that is just information. We don't have more that amount of more goods being produced, or groceries being brought from here to there. The vast majority of it accounts for information. But
Right.
again, that to see how a smartphone didn't even exist a few years ago, and now we use it almost every minute of every day. It does not mean that what we see around us being transformed all the time, it's in sync with how we are being transformed, how we change, that inner growth. And we tend to
Compare ourselves.
we tend to compare, and,
Yeah.
and it gets confusing.
Can
right?
you imagine how crazy it would be if it would change at the speed of the cell phones since the beginning? We wouldn't be able to handle.
What would that be like?
Well, yeah, that's crazy.
Uh-huh. So, the thing is that it seems that nothing is happening, right? Inside of us. If I look to myself and okay, I try to meditate every day, and I try to study, and I try to do volunteer work, and I try to participate in different groups, even being here. So I'm doing all those things, and I've been told, "Oh, you do those things, and you will transform yourself." But where is that? It seems that nothing is happening.
Right. It's a lot of information. And where is the transformation? Where it is going?
Yeah. I'll go. Let me. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I forgot.
Okay.
I want to go back.
Go
please,
ahead.
to the last. So I can't notice that transformation, right? But what I can do is I can feel my transformation. So if I look back 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and if each one of us does that, if we look back 20 years ago, you're not the same, I'm not the same, and I can see that. That I can feel.
Right.
There are things that I do today that I wouldn't do, or
Yeah.
things that I would do. I would be anxious about things that don't make me anxious anymore today. So I
Yeah.
can feel that. Maybe I'm not what I want to be, because it's a never-ending process.
Yeah.
So it is a process, and it is not a process that goes at the same speed that other processes that surround us go. It has a different speed, a different pace. So
I can't see, but I can feel.
I can't see it. There's no way I can see my transformation, but I can feel my transformation.
That's
exactly.
true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Okay, no, go ahead, the next one. So what is happening when nothing is happening? Don't we want to know that? Wouldn't that be really interesting? How do I have access to this field of happenings, of transformation, that it's in me, but I don't notice that, and I don't know, but I can feel when it's happening?
So an example for me, is, okay, I meditate and I sit, I am in silence for a while, and I'm sure many people who are listening into this can relate to this. Nothing is happening. I'm just sitting there in silence.
Right.
And so
Right.
it really seems that nothing is happening.
That's a great key for me to take on this. So let's take the example of meditation, but although meditation is not a very popular thing, let's take the example of people coming to a place such as this one and is studying, okay? So you are taking this information, you're taking in this information, and you are practicing other type of, I don't know, study groups, and then you are listening to talks and videos, like you're trying to enrich yourself with this information. So you are putting all this information, and what you are creating is this, in your field of information are all these possibilities and probabilities, like quantum physics says. So we know today that we have this field of information. We have within us this field of information. And this field of information exists, and I'm going to give a few examples here. So I'm bringing this, this is a saying from the scientist Rupert, what is his last name? It's right here. I will remember it in a little bit. So it says, Rupert says that fields of information, as soon as something new is done somewhere, it becomes easier and easier for it to be repeated anywhere. Evolution moves forward by creating new fields. And this is science, and we also study that here in the Spiritism. So this, what I've just read here, it means that when I am acquiring this information, it's doing something. It's working on something. I'm not going to give it away the answer.
So you mean that even if I still have the same problems, even if I still battle with the same things,
yes,
something is happening?
Like this.
How is that?
like this. I acquire the information, and let's say I don't change my habits and I don't do anything about it. So I cannot activate the probabilities.
Okay.
So I'm creating the probabilities, but I'm not activating the probabilities. And for instance, all the probabilities are here to help me to move, to evolve. Like it says, it becomes easier and easier for it to be repeated anywhere. Let's take a few examples of this. Let's see. Can you click one more?
So it's like traveling from one point A to point B, one town to another town. If there's no road, it becomes a really difficult path, and sometimes you can't even do it. If there's a road, I don't need to take the road, but the road is there. It's just, it will make it easier if I do. Is it something like that?
No, it's something like, for instance, I'm putting information here. So when let's say, I'm studying about resilience or patience, and the more I acquire this information, it will be easier for me to activate this when I am in front of that situation, versus if I don't have that information available, it will be harder for me. So when I have this in my quantum field and I face this situation, the probability that I can exercise patience will be more, will be greater. So let's see the example.
It's like a toolbox.
It's like a toolbox, exactly. For instance, Carl Gustav Jung spoke about it, the unconscious, collective unconscious. The collective unconscious is this field of information that is passed from generation to generation, and that is to help us to make it easier for the next generation to overcome that situation. So we inherited through our genes, DNA, this information, so the family member can overcome and can evolve. And this is not against us, but in our favor. And this probability is in our quantum field, is in the field of information. So click on the next one. So for instance, science is making experiments with animals. They can observe this in animals. Like this animal, in the beginning, with the barbed wire, many animals, they died, but they realized that the generations ahead of those that died didn't die.
Okay.
Didn't come closer, because they realized that this can kill me. So what they did, look, in this experiment, this is from an experiment, this picture. So the animal realized a way to go under the wire, not get hurt. Click on the next one.
They were not like talking to each other. Like
no, they didn't do a meeting. Let's do a meetup and say, look, you know, if you do this, you're not going to be hurt. And by the way, the study shows that this species, this type of animal, all over the world learned.
Wow.
How does that happen? All over. So it's not just that local animal from that region. No, it is passed.
So let me ask a question. That means that if I improve in something, say I become less anxious, I am impacting other people?
More or less, because we have the choices. Like, if I have this information in my field of information, I have the choice, the free will, to elect what I want to use. I am not affecting your free will.
No, but
so
I mean,
you will have the choice that you choose.
I know.
You're not going to become better if I become better.
Not like the animals.
No, I am adding to the collective unconscious.
But
yes, I am.
Am I adding to the toolbox of humanity?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are. And the magnetic field of Earth as well. And they now are observing that the magnetic fields gather more information than they thought, and they can realize that observing the other planets with the other magnetic fields. So for instance, you see there the rats that they created a maze with the rat and some kind of smell. some kind of a smell, right? So it was a horrific smell. So the rats avoided that part of the maze because of the smell. Guess what? The other generation from the same rats, they even didn't go there. They went all the way. They didn't know. They didn't experience, but they were not even going there.
Okay.
And that's added again to the field of this research. And also the fishes that we know that's very well known. What is that? This is there is no leader there. There is not one fish saying, let's go this way and now let's do this and let's do that. Or they didn't get together and they say, okay, this is how we're gonna dance today. So no such a thing. It's the field of information that science now, they call it morphic resonance. So you can also find as morphic resonance. Okay, next one. So I want to show you, don't click yet. So I want to show you the monkeys from Japan. So they realize that somehow these monkeys, they season their potatoes. They realize that if they go to the ocean and put the potato in the water, it tastes better.
Salty.
So what happened? All the monkeys in the Pacific, they do the same.
Okay.
They do the same. But these monkeys are from, this is the experiment from the
Yoshida.
The Koshima Beach.
Oh,
Koshima
okay.
Beach. Okay, let's play this this video. It's just a 1 minute. And while they are, so in this experiment, there is no sound. It's just no sound. It's just for you to look at it. And they are seasoning their potatoes. So basically, this when they do that, when they learn this, they are passing to the other generations. So other generations, they don't need to learn that. They already know. When they come, they already know. They naturally go to the ocean, season the potatoes in the water. And that happens so often with different species and different animals. This is an amazing observation and amazing. So what happened in this field of information? What happened? Can I have access to this field of information as a human? I want to know that. So where is the door to this field of information?
How do I connect?
How do I connect with this field of information? How do I do that? Because if I don't put the information in my field of information, then I will keep repeating the stuff. I will not evolve. I will not move on. So how do I do? Let's keep going. This is a very important question.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
There we go.
One more. Yes. How do I know when transformation is happening in me?
Yeah. Because as we were saying, I don't really notice. I don't really know when things are happening. As I said, I can feel it. I can go back. But today, what I would like is that in 10 years, I look back and I can say, wow, I'm feeling that transformation. So what do I do today so that I know I'm going in that direction? I'm going in the direction that will allow me in the future to say, I can feel how I connected to this field of information, how I connected to this and this tool, how I improved that, how I changed, how my reactions are different, how I know more about them, how some of the things that would control me and make me react
before, what is preventing me from
don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I want to know. I want to be able to do that.
Okay. Let's see. What else did you bring?
Oh. So.
Do you want to say it right now? No. Let's keep
Let's keep
later. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Let's bring the. Okay.
Yeah. We're thinking about. So I'm thinking about that, and and I realize, one thing I do realize when I look back and I feel that transformation, and I'm sure many of you can feel that in different aspects of your life. Everybody can, because it's a law. So for sure you can look back and see things that were different. So one of the things I see is that I need to be faithful in myself. I have to have faith in my ability to keep doing the things that will help me get there. And I need to be patient because it's a process, and I can't really notice the process. And I need to know that even if I'm repeating some things, even if I'm facing the same issues, the same problems, even if I'm having discussion with my neighbors again and again, and maybe I moved and then, oh, bad luck, I found another bad neighbor, or I switched jobs and I found another bad co-worker or boss, or whatever it is. I have lack of financial resources, and it keeps repeating. It does not matter what it is. I have to know that by doing certain things, I will be able to achieve that transformation. And regarding that, we brought a piece, a question of the Spirit's book.
Stunning question.
That
amazing question.
That speaks a lot to what we're discussing. This is question.
This is question for you.
802.
You will have to answer. Steve, Manny, Raphael, you have to answer this question. Since Spiritism must mark the progress of humankind, could the Spirit speed up his progress through general and clear manifestations to convince even the most skeptical individuals? What do you think? Write down there in the comments. Mm-hmm. We want to know if you know. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see what the Spirits said here. And they reply, you want miracles, but God grants your miracles every day, and yet you still have people who deny their existence. Did Christ convince his contemporaries by the miracles he accomplished? And I would say even us today. Is he convincing us today by the miracles he accomplished?
Do you not see people these days denying most evidence facts despite occurring before their very eyes?
Are there not some who say that they would not believe even if they saw it? No, it is not through miracles that God will bring human beings back to their senses. God's goodness allows them to convince themselves through reason. So that made us think about what is a miracle and what is it that we are expecting in our transformation
to happen.
Yeah.
So I can transform myself, or
again, someone comes and says, wow, this is so good for me. You have to do this.
You have to do it. It's a miracle.
And then you go and, you expect that change and nothing happens.
And nothing happens.
So, what is that?
Yeah.
And why do we keep expecting miracles when we really have miracles every day? But if we think about the meaning of a miracle, it is nothing more than something that we can't really explain, something that happens and that does not have an explanation through reason right now. So the Spirits are saying God is just putting things out there, miracles out there.
Yeah.
But we will only get there through our reason. So
yes,
we should stop expecting our transformation to be a miracle, to be something that, I sit on a chair on a place, I receive a treatment, and then tomorrow I'm transformed. That's not gonna be a miracle, because there's nothing to be explained or unknown about a process that it just can't happen.
Exactly. And what I don't see, how do you know that you are not transforming yourself right now, since you do not realize it? You're not realizing that you are changing. How can you really say, I'm not changing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I don't see any change? Really? Are you really aware of everything? Of every aspect of your transformation?
So, where's that key?
Where is the key?
Where is it?
Where is the key to transformation? Okay,
Okay.
let's reveal.
So,
The gift of transformation is
it's making friends with the moment. And while doing that, the shape that it takes, it doesn't matter. We just need to allow it, to embrace it, to be with it.
what does that mean?
So what does that mean? That means, to me, it means that I'm aware, I am conscious of what's happening, and that's what gives me that feeling of transformation, how I feel differently now from what I felt before changing. And to me, it means that I'm at peace, that I have inner peace, that I am, I think to me that the best expression that I can find is to be at peace. So no matter what's happening outside,
Means
I'm okay. It is something that I have created for myself, and I will live through it, and I will grow through it.
okay. So how do you feel inside? You're just closing your eyes and said, okay, let it happen. Whatever it is, let it happen. Is that what you're saying?
It is what I'm saying.
And
Yeah.
inside of you, it's how it is inside of
It's-
you.
There's peace.
There is peace.
There's a very
How can you do
simple-
that? How can you do that? Even if it's something that you dislike, how can you achieve that?
Well, being aware
Of what?
being aware of myself.
Okay.
Obviously, because I am not what's happening.
Okay.
I am something very different from what's happening.
Right.
Just a tiny anecdote. My grandma and even my mom, it just came to my mind. Whenever there was a thunderstorm, I have seen my grandma under the bed, literally, under the bed. So she was very afraid of it, and she was not at peace at that moment. And for me, a thunderstorm, it's even something fun. It's not fun. Okay, it's enjoyable. I enjoy a thunderstorm. So it is that process to go from being afraid and under the bed to enjoying that. And the thunderstorms have the same destructive power, whether I'm under the bed or
Right.
enjoying them.
Let me give another example that may be better to understand. So whatever you're going through right now in your life, you have a difficult relationship with someone, your financial situation, your, let's say, the relationship with your boss or with the company, with your finances, or with your health. You're not in good shape. And whatever situation you're going through, I'm not saying that you should smile and be happy and celebrating, but you can be at ease. You can be at peace, understanding what is behind all that. Not fighting against it, but understanding that this is part of your evolutionary path. That's exactly why are you here. And that's that's the job, your task that you need to do in order to move up in your evolution. You need to step up, to upgrade in your evolution. And when you are friends with the moment, that means, it doesn't mean that you will you say, okay, I will not say anything, and inside you are feeling horrible. No, you truly believe in the power of the Celestial Father, the God, the divinity, whatever name you want to call. You truly believe that you are being supported. Here in this community, we do believe that there are spiritual friends. We have spiritual friends, a spiritual family. And we are not being just ignored in our pain, in our struggles. No, we are not. Nobody is ignoring. We need to go through this. This is part of our evolution. And when you say the shape, it does not matter. The shape it takes, it does not matter, because it can be anything. You know, when you get irritated, you know, when you are sad about something, whatever it is. You're sad with your daughter, your son, your job, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter the shape. You look in the mirror, you don't like yourself. That's where you need to go. That's exactly your path. You need to be there, and you need to be present that moment, and you need to embrace it and accept the experience. This will give you peace. The spirits, they say in the spirits book that we will live different situations, because we need to learn to experience all this. And above all, we need to transcend. We need to love. So we need to love whatever it is in front of you. Oh, but I am in a terminal disease. You need to love that situation. Okay? There is incarnation, reincarnation. You're going to be back again. Oh, but I have a horrible, you don't know what my daughter did to me, or my brother or my sister. Love. That's the only way you can transcend. You already have this information. You brought with you your tendency, the information from your past experiences. I don't say past life because I only believe in one life. It's the life of the spirit. You already have that. We, the spirits, they tell us we are repeating experiences. This time, do it differently. Do it with love. Transcend. That's the only way. Take the information that is in your quantum field, the support and the love you have been receiving, and do it differently.
So I just want to say thank you. And this time is not thank you for the attention. It really is thank you for being part of those friends that are with me in my transformation, in my path, in my evolution. Honestly, sincerely, thank you for that to all our friends that are listening in, incarnate and discarnate, and that are watching over us and walking the path with us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, controversial a lot. Thank you, and love your path, love your life. No matter what situation you are going through right now, be bigger than this. Be more. Be your light that you know, we know you are. So be that and be happy. There is so much more to come. Other struggles, other difficulties, other challenges. This is just one of many that will come. Thank you.
Xinjiang one for this moment. It was really good. And let's all enjoy this moment. That's what we have right now, and just embrace it and do the best we can. That's what we can. Do it. So before we finish, we have our reminders of tonight. Okay. So we still have our meditations online at Tuesdays at 7 p.m. with Juan and Cynthia. We just saw them here.
Portuguese 6:30 and English 7 p.m.
Okay, so we have it in Portuguese as well at 6:30 and 7 o'clock in English. And you can find it on our Facebook channel.
YouTube.
And YouTube, right? But they posted on Facebook that we're going to have it on YouTube. No?
I don't think we stream on Facebook.
Okay.
I think we only stream on YouTube.
It's streamed on YouTube. It's in there. Thank you. And also we have our study in the realms of mediumship on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. online. It's posted on the Facebook channel for this spiritual world, right? The Facebook channel. It's in there. And that's all our reminders. We also have talks in Portuguese on Mondays and Saturdays. And you can check it out on our YouTube and Facebook channel. It's all in there. So before we go for tonight, let's do a closing prayer. Let us all just be thankful for this moment, enjoying this moment of learning, this moment of transformation that is happening inside of us and outside of us all the time. We're always changing and transforming ourselves, making ourselves and others better. Let's just take a couple minutes every day to take a couple of deep breaths and feel those moments. And know that we're transforming ourselves and making this world a better place. Let's be thankful and helpful to each other. Embrace the love that existed inside of us and bring it outside to make this world better and better every day. Thank you all for being with us tonight. And with that, I ask permission to finish our presentation of tonight. So be it.